The 6th of April, 1941. The skies over Belgrade fill with hundreds of Luftwaffe aircraft as bombs rain down. Nazi Germany begins its invasion of Yugoslavia, and the assault has a name: Unternehmen Strafgericht, or Operation Retribution. Hitler sees the country as a potential danger to the southern flank of his planned assault on the Soviet Union, and moves to secure vital supply lines through the Balkans and southeastern Europe. 19 German divisions, supported by Italian, Hungarian, and Bulgarian forces, defeat Yugoslavia in just 11 days. After the surrender, local partisan forces continue the fight against the Germans and their allies, who impose a brutal reign of terror on the population. To crush the resistance in the region, the Nazis deploy a man who will lead SS troops that not only carry out the Holocaust, but also order the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children, some of whom will be burnt alive inside their homes. His name is August Schmidhuber. August Schmidhuber was born on the 8th of May, 1901 in the city of Augsburg, then part of the German Empire. The son of a government official, he trained as a brewer before enlisting in the German army in May 1919, just months after the end of the First World War. Like many young men disillusioned by defeat and chaos, Schmidhuber joined the Freikorps, right-wing paramilitary groups made up of former soldiers. These units helped crush leftist uprisings across Germany and fueled the rise of militant nationalism. Schmidhuber remained in the regular army for over a decade and left the military in May 1931. After leaving the army, Schmidhuber returned to civilian life as a brewer and became politically active in Bavaria. He joined the conservative Bavarian People's Party and even ran for district administrator in the city of Lindau. On the 30th of January 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany by President Paul von Hindenburg. In July of the same year, Schmidhuber joined the SA, the Nazi Party's paramilitary wing. In 1935, Schmidhuber transferred to the SS, where he quickly rose through the ranks, and by January 1939, he had already reached the rank of SS Sturmbannführer, an equivalent to major. The Second World War started on the 1st of September 1939, when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. Schmidhuber participated in the invasion of Poland and the Western Campaign, and was awarded both classes of the Iron Cross. When Germany's ally Italy failed to conquer Greece in late autumn and winter of 1940 to 1941, Germany became increasingly concerned about securing its southeastern flank in the Balkans. Greece's success in repelling Italian forces allowed its ally, Great Britain, to establish a foothold on the European continent. To subdue Greece and drive the British off the mainland, Nazi Germany sought to bring Yugoslavia and Bulgaria into the Axis alliance, which was a military coalition led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. On the 25th of March 1941, Yugoslavia joined the Axis and agreed to permit German troops to transit through its territory en route to Greece. The announcement of the agreement was extremely unpopular in many parts of the country, particularly in Serbia and Montenegro. The Yugoslav government soon declared that it would not honor its obligations under the pact. Hitler was furious. Although Prime Minister General Dusan Simovic attempted to retract the statement within days, Hitler ordered the invasion of Yugoslavia on the evening of the 27th of March. The invasion, involving German, Italian, Hungarian, and Bulgarian forces, began on the 6th of April, 1941. By the 17th of April, the Yugoslav army had surrendered, and the country was occupied and partitioned by the Axis powers. With Yugoslavia now under Axis control, the brutal campaign to crush all resistance began. In June 1941, August Schmidhuber was promoted to the rank of SS Obersturmbannführer, which was equivalent to lieutenant colonel. A year later, he took command of a regiment within the 7th SS Volunteer Mountain Division, Prinz Eugen. This division, made up largely of ethnic German volunteers from the Balkans, became infamous for its ruthlessness. Under Schmidhuber's leadership, the unit carried out brutal anti-partisan operations that often resulted in mass killings of civilians. One of the most notorious atrocities under Schmidhuber's command occurred in October 1942 during Operation Kopaonik. The SS division targeted Serbian villages, believed to be sheltering partisans. In the village of Kriva Reka, 120 civilians were locked inside a church and burnt alive. Across the wider Kopaonik and Mount Goch regions, another 550 civilians were executed. In early 1943, during Operation Weiss, also known as Case White, Schmidhuber's division once again left a trail of death. In just a few weeks, the division and its allies killed thousands of civilians across the Croatian region of Karlovac and the Grmec region in present-day Bosnia and Herzegovina. Entire refugee columns were attacked, and official post-war investigations confirmed that 3,370 civilians were killed, and 1,722 deported to concentration camps during the operation. Then, in late March 1944, the 2nd Battalion of Schmidhuber's 14th SS Regiment murdered 1,525 civilians over just 4 days in villages near the city of Split in today's Croatia. The massacre, conducted under the command of the 5th SS Mountain Corps, targeted unarmed villages. Men, women, and children were executed on the spot or burnt alive. It was one of the largest single atrocities committed by the Prinz Eugen Division. In April 1944, Schmidhuber was appointed commander of the 21st Waffen Mountain Division of the SS Skanderbeg. This unit, composed mainly of ethnic Albanian volunteers, operated in the region of Kosovo and quickly became notorious for its lawlessness and brutality. The division routinely looted property and committed atrocities against Serbs and other civilians, and also used retributive hangings as a response to acts of sabotage. In May 1944, under Schmidhuber's leadership, the Skanderbeg division participated in the roundup and deportation of most of the Jews from Kosovo. They were sent to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp in Nazi Germany, where nearly all of them perished. The violence continued through the summer. On the 28th of July, 1944, during Operation Draufgänger, members of both the Skanderbeg and Prinz Eugen divisions carried out another mass killing. Around 550 Serb villages in Velika in Montenegro were murdered in a single day. Men, women, and children were slaughtered without mercy. The atrocities committed by Schmidhuber's forces did not stop there. In the area around the city of Nikšić in Montenegro, his division unleashed an especially gruesome campaign of destruction. After the war, Dr. Dusan Nedeljković from the Yugoslav State Commission testified the following. Everything they came across, they burnt down, they murdered and pillaged. The officers and men of the SS Division Prinz Eugen committed crimes of an outrageous cruelty on this occasion. The victims were shot, slaughtered, and tortured, or burned to death in burning houses. Where a victim was found not in his house but on the road or in the field some distance away, he was murdered and burnt there. Infants with their mothers, pregnant women, and frail old people were also murdered. In short, every civilian met with by these troops in these villages was murdered. In many cases, whole families who, not expecting such treatment or lacking the time for escape, had remained quietly in their homes, were annihilated and murdered. Whole families were thrown into burning houses in many cases, and thus burned. The atrocities in Montenegro marked the final phase of Schmidhuber's destructive career. After just 6 months of existence, the 21st SS Skanderbeg Division was falling apart. Plagued by mass desertions, poor combat performance, and a record of atrocities, it was officially disbanded on the 1st of November 1944 by Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS. Schmidhuber placed the blame on the Albanian soldiers under his command, stating bitterly that, during the attack, he goes only as far as he finds something to steal or sack. Despite this failure, in January 1945, Schmidhuber was promoted to SS Brigadeführer und Generalmajor der Waffen-SS, a rank equivalent to Brigadier General in the US Army. That same month, as the German army retreated from Albania, he replaced Otto Kumm as commander of the 7th SS Volunteer Mountain Division Prinz Eugen. The remaining German and ethnic German elements of the Skanderbeg division were absorbed into his new unit, which was given the honorific title Skanderbeg in memory of its predecessor. Under Schmidhuber's command, Prinz Eugen continued to commit war crimes, particularly in the cities of Split and Dubrovnik in present-day Croatia. As part of the Army Group F, the division fought desperate rearguard actions against Yugoslav partisans and Soviet forces. On the 11th of May, 1945, Schmidhuber was captured by Yugoslav partisans after his division surrendered in Slovenia and was turned over to the Yugoslav authorities. A Yugoslav military tribunal tried him on charges of participating in massacres, deportations, and atrocities against civilians, and sentenced him to death by hanging. When Schmidhuber was executed on the 19th of February 1947 in Belgrade, he was 45 years old. Thanks for watching the World History Channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss our next episodes. We thank you, and we'll see you next time on the channel.